Thank you, Chairman. Dr. Zhang, recently you alluded to some of it in your comments. We've seen the MDMA-assisted therapy trial and a broader range of other research on novel therapeutics for PTSD, substance abuse, and others. I know you can't get into specifics, but kind of broadly speaking, what's your assessment of it so far, and what do you think the future can look like?
Thank you, Senator Sheehy. We're as an organization, very excited to support the frontiers of treatment for difficult things like PTSD and substance abuse, alcohol abuse as well, using tools like psychedelic medicine. What we are trying to do in research is to support this frontier work. I know that Dr. Ilse Wiekers has been here and also working very closely to brief this committee. And for further details specifically on that, I would refer to Dr. Wiekers. But I would say from our research component, our goal is to support the science and support the frontiers, and that's what we're going to do.
I think in the vein of getting the solutions to the field as quickly as possible, we also want to be prepared for enterprise-level rollout of these type of therapeutics, both the care as well as the products themselves. So has there been any thought given yet to life cycle management, actual rolling out of the novel therapies, training of the staff, and how the logistics of that are going to happen once we get to FDA approval, once we get to VA-wide enterprise approval? Has that planning process begun?
Yes, thank you, Senator Sheehy. We've actually been really thinking about how we translate. And actually, I would say this is not just for psychedelics, but a lot of lines of our research. One of our core goals is how do we rapidly translate that to actual veteran impact? So when it pertains to specifically psychedelics, we've actually created as an organization an integrated project team to think about this both from a science standpoint, but also how do we operationalize this when it's safe, when the science supports it, to better benefit veterans.
Great, yeah, that's good to hear because, as you know, whether it's 22 a day or whether it's veterans paying for their own trips to Mexico or elsewhere to get these treatments, the sooner we can roll them out, the better. And I think the worst thing that could happen is we finish the trials, we finish the double-blind studies, and everything comes out great, and then it's another 5 to 10 years of bureaucratic rollout. No offense, but that's generally how the government works. And in that time, we still have veterans in need. So I think it's just as important as we conduct the research that we also fast-track, without cutting corners, the logistics of how we're going to physically roll that out when the time comes. And I think a core component of that will be, of course, our community care networks, which there are existing providers that already do this in the private sector. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel in every case. There could be times where we can leverage that community care network in this sector as well. So thanks for your work on this. Appreciate being here.
Thank you, Senator Sheehy. And I would just say, I think from my perspective, I'm still relatively new, frankly, to the VA. I just joined the organization a little under 3 years ago. But I'm actually a second-generation VA physician. My mom is a primary care doctor at the Erie VA for the last 20 years. So although I'm not a veteran, I've seen and my family has benefited from VA for about half my life. So I understand the value of the organization, what a gem research is at VA, and how it's improved not only veteran care, but American care, and frankly, care for humanity. So that is the pathway and kind of the overarching direction that I want you all to know we have at VA. It's not just me, it's everyone I work with. And I work with so many researchers that are also veterans. And that's such an incredible thing to see. The mission is so important, and that's why we do this work.
Doctor, thank you for your comments in response to Senator Sheehy's question.